Hello and welcome to another episode here on my channel. My name is ChaosMole and today we have another, react video but also talk video about this is Aeternum trailer for Amazon's new MMO, New World, and then we have to talk a little bit about the expeditions. Now, what are those? TLDR, expeditions are basically instance dungeons, you know, like the one you have in World of Warcraft or other MMOs out there. And now a good amount of people had the pleasure to have a hand-on preview event with the developers where they were able to check out those expeditions. And the answer is no, not me, because, well, I have to admit I put the New World a little bit on the back burner and was like, yeah, you know, we are coming back to that. But they released a new trailer. Again, they showed like an expedition, which we will watch a little bit. We will not watch the whole thing. And we will talk a little bit about the game in the meantime. So with that said, and without any further delay, I would say we are watching This is Aeternum, which will also apparently say when the next closed beta is happening, plus when the release date is exactly. So, without further ado, let's watch this, shall we? Amazon Games, yo.
What is Aeternum?
A hanging ship.
The substance of legends.
I really have to say, like, the world environment always looked fantastic on the game.
Adventure.
Even in the closed beta a year ago, or preview event, whatever they called it.
Aeternum is life eternal.
Yeah, that was the intro cutscene.
And death incarnate.
I really wonder, like, what they did in a year. And I'm really curious. Man, the world environment looks pretty. That's the thing with all the Amazon games I've seen so far. The world looks fantastic in all those games. Like even the games which got cancelled in the end.
The fires of destruction.
They've nailed that down.
Rage and malice. Aeternum is the truth behind nightmares. What is Aeternum?
It is
That
eternal.
Depends on you.
Okay, there's the release date. Neat. So, as far as we know, there's also a closed beta coming up. So if you pre-order or through other means, there will be a closed beta on July the 20th for all the pre-orders. So it's still a little bit off, but it's slowly getting there. And I'm curious. Yeah, it should be interesting. But as I said, there was also another event they were doing today, and that was the so-called preview event for the Amrine expedition. Now, I got invited to that. So the gameplay you will see here in the video is from Sir Medieval. He is another fantastic YouTuber who is also doing a good chunk of New World content. Definitely make sure you check him out. You find his whole channel and the video in the description. So make sure to send him a sub and a like. And I would say we are letting this run a little bit in the background as long as we are playing, or as long as we are talking about New World. And it already seems like they have upgraded the interface quite a bit. Like this looks a little bit different than I remember. Of course, that doesn't mean much because I'm pretty bad at remembering things. But it seems like they have already upgraded that. And I think my biggest problem with the alpha, beta, whatever it was we played there, the preview version, is that they had like a lot of amazing gameplay components in the game, but it always felt a bit like not very deep, and you realize very quickly how multiple things in the game like contradict themselves. I talked about this when I played the preview version, where there was a lot of crafting in the game, right? And I love that. I love crafting. It's a great thing. But then you were going into the main city and you choose a faction, and by just doing the daily factions, you could get better or at least as good items as you would get through hours and hours of crafting by just doing a few dailies per day. And that totally contradicts itself, because like, why would I put hours and hours of my gameplay time into crafting when I basically don't need that, because I can just go to my faction NPC, do like 5 dailies in an hour, and then get the same amount of items, if not even more and better, and guaranteed, that's the more important part, guaranteed items out of the game. Like, there were multiple things where I always felt like, this is good, this feels great, this looks good, but when you think a little bit more, there is still a lot of stuff missing, and it again contradicts itself sometimes even, which is of course a huge problem. The same goes with PvP. Like, there were a lot of questions about, why should I do PvP? Like, the punishment is high, the reward is not. So there was like another problem I had at that point, and I really hope that they expanded on that. Now that they had a whole extra year, I am actually looking forward to this game, because the game itself didn't feel bad. Like, I know that some people really hated this game, and they were like, oh no, this game is horrible. I enjoyed myself. I totally did. And let's jump through the expedition here a little bit. So those expeditions are like dungeons, 5-people dungeons, like you know from World of Warcraft, right? And a lot of other theme park MMOs where you are basically going in with a group where there is a tank, there's a healer, and then you have 3 DPS, and then you're going through the dungeon, kill a lot of trash mobs, and then you do a boss fight, right? And this one is a level 25 instance dungeon. It seems to be like a particular event they have to do right now. And this looks kind of curious. I like this. There's a lot of stuff going on, but it's not confusing. I think that's also one of the things I really liked about New World. Like, even though there were a lot of people sometimes on the screen and there were a lot of abilities flying around, it never became confusing. Like, you know, in some games, you have those fights happening, and then you have a lot of abilities, and you completely lose the overview about what the heck is actually going on in that fight, who is friend and foe, and how do I manage not to get completely overrun by those abilities and get blinded in the end. So it seems like they're doing a pretty good job with 5 people. I'm enjoying that. I'm really, really curious to see how they actually do those dungeons. Let's see if we can find like a boss fight here, because they said that this dungeon is not just spank and tank, you know, just standing in the corner and then taking the beating and then do some damage on the enemy. Oh, this looks like a boss fight. Maybe? Oh no, this is like a bigger mob. Not really a boss fight. Okay. But yeah, they definitely upgraded the interface. Let's see if they have some more to show you. Again, I don't want to show the whole video, because you can see that on Sam Medieval's channel. And please check him out. And of course all the other people who did this specific dungeon run. Let's see if we can... I'm a little bit surprised that we haven't seen a boss enemy yet. So it seems like you're fighting a lot of mobs and trash mobs, but you're not necessarily fighting a boss. So I wonder if there is only like one boss per dungeon, which would be a bit unfortunate. Oh no, this is definitely a boss. Yeah, this is Foreman Nakashima. Let's watch this fight a bit. Like, we have already seen a good amount of AoE. Oh yeah, they're like ghosts flying around, and you have to dodge them. That's cool. See, the thing is with New World, like, Amazon Games definitely has the people to do those types of games, and they know what they're doing. But we have unfortunately heard a lot of bad news sometimes from the studio itself about what the heck is going on. And damn, he got wrecked there. There was a lot of ghosts, and he was apparently too close. Wop, wop, wop. But he got revived, so that's good. Yeah, Amazon Game Studios like has a lot of good people who have the knowledge and the skill, in my opinion, to make a good game, make a good MMO. But unfortunately, they had a lot of internal issues, and I'm really curious now that they took like another year of preparing the game instead of releasing it. Like, keep in mind, this game should have come out last year in August. So they completely postponed the game by a year. And then they were just like, yeah, you know what? Give us that year and we work really hard. So I haven't had the chance to look into the game yet since they changed it. And I'm really curious what they did. There's to hope, because I enjoyed my time in that game and I want to see more of it. But this looks kind of cool. It looks like your bread and butter dungeon. Keep in mind, this is one like of the first dungeons you will see in the game, and they are always there to ease the people in to the dungeon experience. Like, I haven't seen a single theme park MMO where they were just pushing the super hardcore dungeon right at the beginning with 20 different mechanics. Like, nobody does that, because you still have to remind yourself that even though you might be an experienced MMO veteran, there are still a lot of new players who sometimes never played these type of games and have never played like a dungeon, and they have to understand how the dungeon mechanics work. And again, as I'm to understand, this is a very early dungeon in the game, and it makes sense that they don't have crazy elaborate gameplay mechanics for the first dungeon. But this looks neat. Also, we see some of the new weapon they introduced, like the glove, the ice glove or whatever it is. That looks really neat. I kind of like to play an ice mage. It's weird. Like, I started this like a few weeks ago, that I actually got interested to play more and more an ice mage, even though I've never played one in most of the MMOs out there. Ooh, that looks like an interesting boss room. But unfortunately, we were ended here. So if you want to see what this is all about, you have to watch the whole thing of Sir Medieval's channel. And I will put the link in the description. So if you want to check him out, please do so. And follow the links. Yeah. But this looks good. This looks TLDR. This looks good. This looks fun. And I hope we will see more of New World. If that happens, I will definitely be back. I will make more videos about the game, because I enjoyed myself in the game. So I keep you definitely posted. Thank you so much for watching. And if you enjoyed this video, please don't forget to like. And if you want to see more New World reaction videos, New World gameplay, then I would appreciate if you consider a subscription to the channel. And we have, of course, more games to play and more videos to come. So thank you so much for that, and stay safe, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye.